Hey engineering students, this is the next coding video, coding week 3B, and you're about getting to three quarters away through the coding that we're going to do before we go any further. So congratulations, you're doing it. Things are going well, and I hope you learn some more fun stuff today. We're really going to focus on text strings today, a little more about how to manipulate them, how to use them, how to check for conditions in text strings. I might see if I can do my Pig Latin translator a little more powerfully this time. And this is going to help get you prepared for what week 4 holds. Let me just resize my windows here while I talk. So week 4 is going to all be a little, kind of slightly longer project for you. I'm going to want you to put together a role-playing game. Okay, a role-playing game, and we'll do more on that next week. I'll tell you what to expect, but this is what we're trying to get you towards. So let's work out how to use strings a little more effectively. Maybe we'll see if we can get some functions going too. Okay, so just to quickly recap for you, we have different data types in Python. We have text strings, we have integers, and we have floating point numbers or floats. All right, and you have to understand those are coming at Python differently. It's handling a little differently. We can do things with strings that we can't do with the other ones. So, what happened there? I don't know. So let's try some of this. Let's say let's just make up some strings firstly. All right, we're going to say text equals, and I need a word that, all right, cantaloupe. Is that how you spell cantaloupe? Cantaloupe? Oh man. Let me try a different word. Orange. I can spell orange. Okay, so there's a little piece of text for us to work with. And I'm going to show you how to dig in and get some things out of this. Here's something that I showed you already. We'll recap it. Get your notebook out. We can slice particular characters out of a string of text. All right, so we might say we want to print not just the whole string. If I did this right now, it's just going to show me the word orange. But we can use square brackets, and we can slice off different parts of that string. And the one thing you really must remember that string characters are numbered off starting with 0. Okay. So when I say print text square brackets, parentheses, what are those? Brackets, I think, in this country, and you run that, it's going to grab the letter O. Not the whole thing, just letter O. And we can combine this with other manipulations if we like. We could say we're going to print that letter O, but we're going to force it to be uppercase. It's a little hard to tell that's an O or a 0. Is it up or is it lower? It's a little circle, but you can force that. You could force that to be lowercase if you wish. It already is lowercase, but that's fine. We're just forcing it to be something that it already is. You could search for other letters. You could say, okay, give me the second letter in the string. You put in a number 1 for the second letter. I know, potentially confusing, but that's how computers often work, counting starting with 0. Now, by the way, what is the length of this piece of text, orange? You can obviously count the letters, O-R-A-N-G-E, 6 characters. Or you might have forgotten this one, but you can also use a little function called len, length, okay? And let's say, oops. Oh, no, we need some quotes there. Your word has and put length. Hopefully you can see why I'm doing the things I'm doing. Characters in it. You would have 6 characters in it, and then we're going to print the first character, which is actually the second character. Okay, we're slicing off the second character, which is the first character. We can change this, of course, to be whatever we want. That's bananas. That should now say 7 and slice a different letter. Okay, I think you get the idea. What if we did this? It only has oops, sorry. It only has 6 characters in the word orange. If I do 5, number 5, that's going to grab us the E off the very end. What happens in Python if you try to grab past the length of the string? You will get an error. Okay, so this is one thing you cannot do in Python. You can't grab, it actually says right there, the last line of that red says index error, string index is out of the range. It just doesn't exist. All right, so that is what will happen. Here are some other things that you can do with slicing. You can slice negatively. That just simply means negatively, which means it starts from the end and works backwards. Now this might feel a little strange given what I just said about starting with counting with 0, but if you do -1, -1 is the last character. I guess you couldn't use 0 again to start at the end, because if you type 0, it thinks you want the first character. But putting -1, there it is. Putting -1 gives you that final character. And again, you could do -2, gives you the G. So in this case, if I did -6, that should give us the O. But if I did -7, it's going to have a small fit of despair. There it is again, string index out of range. All right. Other things that you can do. Oops, I better fix that, or it's going to give us an error every time. Let's do -6. You can also slice off a little range of values. You can do, like, slice off for me from 0 to, well, let's make it a bit clearer. Let's do 0 to 2. Use a little colon, okay? Kind of like you would if you were talking about like a ratio. Actually, the colon is also used in Excel, for those of you who've done some coding in Excel, to give a range of values, so you can, if that helps you. And look at what this is doing. Oh, there's so much to keep track of here. What is it counting? What is it not counting? So in doing a range of characters, let's say when slicing a range of characters, use a colon, and remember that the second number is the character you, how can I say this, that you don't include. Oops. Now this is exactly the same sort of thinking as when we did ranges, okay, in previous videos. So this put the letters OR because it grabbed the 0th letter, which is the O. It grabbed the first letter, which was the R, and then it didn't include the second letter, the letter in the to position. It's the one that you stop at. Okay. I don't think, sorry, I want to see if I can quickly compare here. I don't think we can just simply print, no, yes, no, we can. So like if you do this, if you do print range 0 to 2, you get kind of a similar, sort of a similar outcome. Come on. Let's try that again. Let's go. You might have noticed occasionally, very occasionally, Python does hang a little bit. Remember that this is sending code to their servers and then getting that like a return signal bouncing back, kind of like how Onshape works as well. And what am I forgetting here? Oh, I use square brackets instead of round. That's what I did wrong. What? I'm so sorry, guys. I think I just told you that to use a colon. Okay, clearly I don't know what I'm doing. Forget range. Look back in your notes. I've already forgotten how to use range properly. But anyway, so you count at the 0 and you stop as you're going up through the values. Don't include that one there. So if I wanted to print the whole word orange, I would put I believe I'm going to put a 6. There we go. I put a 6, and so what that is doing, it is grabbing the 0th, the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th character, which is 6 in total. Okay, 6 in total. It is not including the 6th character. Is this really confusing? Maybe this will help. Let me show you this. We're counting off 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let me put a comment so nothing runs here. Oops. Maybe that helps. Okay, that is how Python is numbering off the word orange. So when I say 0 to 6 is my slice, I realize there is no 6th character, but it doesn't matter because it's stopping at the 5th character. Now, I think it is also possible to mess around. I think you can slice backwards. Let's say from -1 to negative, say, 4. No, I guess we don't do that. Okay, so you cannot slice backwards. You can fool around with trying different numbers. Looks like it just grabs that -1, and that's all you get. All right, I'll go back to 0. Let's say 3. So we get ora. Okay, very good. Now let's show you some more little tricky things. You could decide that you want to print every letter in a text string except the very last character. Let's say we did that. Let's do print text. We can do little things like this. We can say 0 to, and then we put in a little tiny expression. We can say length. Yeah, that should work. No, we'll have to do -2, I think. I think that's correct. So notice what I've done is I put a little mathematical expression into that. So you're not bound to just using numbers. You could actually have expressions or functions or whatever you want in there as long as they are integer values. But it's using the variable length up here, which is the length of the text, which right now would be showing 6. Okay, because there are 6 characters. Okay, remember this is counting the characters without any funny business. That's just 6. So if I did 6 minus 2, actually maybe I don't want to put anything like that in. Let's just say 6. No, I want a -1. I want -1. All right, now I've thought about it more. Okay, watch what happens when I slice this. That's going to say orang and just stop there. So think about what this is doing. It's counting the characters in the word orange right here, which is 6 of them. Subtract 1 from 6 is 5. So what we have right here is a value of 5. We're slicing from 0 to 5, but remember 5 is the one that you don't get to, and 5 is the 6th character. this is not a little confusing. You must just be very, very intelligent. I understand that this is potentially confusing to keep track of what characters are which. Just remember, you always count from 0, and write a note to yourself as well. When you slice a range of characters, you have the one you want to start with and the one that you don't want to include. Exactly what I've written right there on the screen. Okay. All right. Let's do some other little tricks here. We can check to see if a particular text string is inside another text string. So, you might be designing, say, a role-playing game for your crazy teacher, and the game might ask you to input something. Like it might ask you to describe, I don't know, something. And then you might want to check the text of what was entered, and if it contains a particular keyword, like a password or something, like tell me what the password is. And if the person can successfully put in the password into whatever they type, it's gonna have them win the game or something. So like this, you could say, all right, let's say message inputs. Tell me some things without saying the word banana. Let's try this. Talk to me without saying the word banana. And you can do something like this. You can say, if banana in message, then you print a response. You said banana. Or else, if they don't use the word banana, you can say, tell me more. And then maybe we'll put we'll just have them do a little more text. And you know what we could even do? Well, let me run this once. Let's show you what's happening here. Talk to me without saying the word banana. I want a new line there. Okay, so the person says, I love apples. Oh yes, tell me more. Well, I really love pineapples. Let's try this again. The person says, I like banana bread. You said banana. Okay, it picks up on the fact that the particular text string is inside another text string, and that triggers the true response. So just to be clear, this little bit that I just highlighted, banana in message, this generates a true or false. Remember that true and false, it has to be with a capital T or capital F. Those are actually logic values in Python. That is actually, maybe I should probably add up here. That's another kind of data type in Python: strings, integers, floats, and logic values, which is just simply true or false. We could even you can even do something like this. You can say prints banana in message. Watch this. I really like banana. If I do that, You see that how that word true appears? That is the logic value true. That's coming from line 23. It's not printing a text string. That word true is not a text string. It's a logic value. It's like a logic test that we ran here. Banana in message came back as true. If I run it the other way, say, how's the weather today? It's going to say false because it didn't find the word banana. That's a logic output, not a text string output. I'm going to comment that out because that wasn't really useful to our code, but it's just an interesting aside here. Now, it is also possible to keep this going with a while loop. While banana not in message. Think about this. While banana is not in message. Let's rearrange this a little bit here. We're going to say, let's cut that, paste it here, print, oh yes, tell me more. However, you're going to like this. The only thing that could break this is if they do use the word banana. Actually, don't need any of this right now. Oh, I do need to ask for an input actually. Message equals input. All right, look at what this is going to do. It's firstly going to start line 21. It's going to ask for the input, talking about saying word banana. You're going to enter something in, and then it's going to run a little check. And while, or if you like, for as long as the word banana is not in that variable called message, it's going to say, oh yes, tell me more, and it's going to ask you for another input and then replace what's in message with the new input. So that would loop over and over and over again. The only thing that will break that loop is if this highlighted part here comes back as false. If that comes back as false, this whole while loop breaks. The program jumps down to the next line, which is you said banana. Let me show you how this goes here. I like pineapples. Oh yes, tell me more. They are pretty cool. You can find them in tropical countries. Tropical countries often have bananas. You said banana. Okay, so that's another great way to like validate input as well. If you're looking for a particular response, a particular password, perhaps your character's in a game and they are, stand in front of a door and you have to come up with the right number or something like that. That's a good thing. You see the while loop keeps on running until they can break out of that. And the only thing I would do is I often forget, I would keep doing those new lines to help on breaking that up. I didn't get very far. Oh, I wasn't planning on showing you this, but look what happened there. Can you work out why the program is still saying, oh yes, tell me more? How come it didn't trigger the final line 28? It's because I wrote it with a capital letter B. And remember, this thing is looking for case-sensitive stuff. How can I fix that? I hope you know how you can fix that. Some of you, I've been advising you to use this. You need to, let's see. You need to take that message. Oh, actually, I'll do it right here. You need to take the message and you need to force it all to be lowercase. Okay? Message, all forced lowercase. Let's try running this again. Banana. You said banana. Okay, it spotted it because it's checking the lowerified message instead of the original message. Okay, so we have, you can search for in, you can search for not in. Not, I believe, is just like a logical operator that can actually be tacked on to all sorts of things. But yeah, please write those down. Here are some other little tricks. You can replace things. you can say, let's see, you can take the person's message and you can rewrite it or redefine it, okay? You could say, with another little dot, you can say replace well, maybe we'll replace banana. How about that? Replace banana, comma, fig. By the way, in Haitian Creole, a banana is called a fig. The word in Creole is fig. Don't ask me to explain that. Banana or banan means plantain. Just, you know, that one was free. And then we could print the message. Okay, so again, let me tell you what this is doing before I run it. After we get through all the rigmarole of, you know, same banana. Now, firstly, that guarantees that whatever is in the variable message has the word banana in it. Because if I've broken out of the loop, because this triggered with a false, if I broke out of it, that means the word banana was in that. So now we're going to redefine message with itself, but with every word banana, as often as it appears, replaced with the word fig, and then we're going to reprint that for us. Let's see what happens here. Pineapple. Whoops. Bananas are great. They are good. I like a good banana. Can you get me some? Get me some bananas. Here we go. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. This almost worked. Okay. You said banana. Banana's great. They're good. I like a good fig. Can you get... I don't know what was happening with the text there. Can you get me some figs? I think that's because I was backspacing and it didn't really flow properly. It kind of worked, but it didn't catch the capital letter one. So you could, one kind of like, you know, not so elegant way to do that would be to say, well, if you had any capital ones, let's put capital ones in like that. Man, if you're replacing actual text strings, that could be the only way to do it, unless you just force the whole text string to go lowercase and then replace bananas, but then it's going to kind of look weird with the grammar. So this is probably actually maybe the most straightforward way to do it. There you go. See that? Took it. It looked for it. Oh, I didn't even check with my capital ones. There we go. It caught the capital one. It caught the lowercase one. It took two separate lines of code, the 30 and the 31. 30 caught this one. 31 caught this one. Okay. All right, one last thing that I will show you as regards text is you can count things. You can print accounts. Oops. Count of, well, I guess we made them all figs now, didn't we? I think I will force that to be lowercase, actually. I'm going to do this on a separate line, because I'm not completely sure if it will work to have two appendations at the end. But what this will do, banana, 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 banana. All right, you said banana, and it replaced all three of those, fig, fig, fig. But then it checked line 34 forces the message now to go completely lowercase, and then this dot count, and you tell it whatever text is in there looks for as many instances of that as we can find, even if they are hidden. Like we might say, I figured you like bananas when you told me about it. Oops. Okay, I was trying to think of another word that has FIG in it. I can't come up with one. Shows you how imaginative I am. But look what happens here. You said banana. I figured you like figs when you told me about it. And then it's counting 2 because there's a fig in figured and there's a fig in figs. It doesn't care that it's got URED on the end here. It doesn't care there's an S on the end here. It's just looking for those letters. And that is also case sensitive. If I ran that searching for capital F, I figured you would ask about bananas. It says 0 because it doesn't find anything with a capital F in there. All right, back to the lowercase. Okay, so I'm now wondering if I can maybe write my Pig Latin program. The only thing that's bothering me here is I went and thought more about it. And when you do Pig Latin, I incorrectly said in the last video that you just grab the first letter and put it on the end. That's not actually totally true. You actually take the first group of consonants. Okay, you take the first group of consonants and then you grab all those consonants and send those to the end. Now, I think it would be possible if you really tried, I think it would be possible to create a function that checked through each character of a word, character by character, and stopped when it got to the first vowel. And that would tell you how many of those first characters were consonants. Let me see if I can pull this off. I'm doing this live. I haven't practiced this. We'll see what we can do. We could probably define a function. Remember, you can define these, you should define these right at the very start of your code. You define it early on, and then you can use it as long as you define it first. That is very important. Consonant count. We are going to put a text string in here. So we're going to put a particular word in there. All right, now I think what we'd do here is we would probably run some kind of a loop. We'd say for C in word. Remember, the for in, this is a way that we loop iteratively across a string of text. C is like a temporary variable. It's like a temporary placeholder kind of variable that keeps cycling through as many characters as are in that word. For C in word, let's see. Let's see. If C equals A, or C equals E, or C equals AEI, or C equals O, or C equals U. If C equals any of those, man, that's kind of where I want to. I almost think I want like a while loop. While while C is... Oh man, this could be harder than I think. I kind of want to like have like a counting thing, like it's gonna like click through and count, or I want it to like jump out of the iteration as soon as it hits its first vowel. I'm not fully sure how to do that, I'll be honest. I do not know everything to do with Python, but you can kind of see what I'd be aiming to do here. I think a little more thought would be possible. I would need something that would break the loop though. I would want it to go through each character one by one and check, like, is the C character a vowel or not? Yeah, I think there is a command, by the way. I think there is like a break out of the loop thing, but, or like an end loop. Something like that out there. I know there is. Yeah, I don't think it's break. Anyway, I have to think more about this. All right, I'm not going to try to do this live in front of you and waste your precious time. I may see if I can come up with this on my own. Maybe you want to see if you can come up with this on your own. What I'd be looking for is some way to only grab the consonant part of the string on the front of a word and move that to the end. So I'm keeping on going. That's not done. That's no good right there. That's broken code. So for example, if the word was street, I would need to be able to grab only STR. If the word was, let's see, pincer, I would only grab the P. See what I'm trying to say? Like just the first cluster of consonants. And also if the word starts with a vowel, if the word was orange, I would not want to grab anything, because this one, oops, this one would need to become eat stray. If you remember my pig Latin lesson that I gave you, this one would become insert pay, and this one would become orange lay. All right, I know this can be done. I have actually done it before, years past. That's part of how I know. But I was thinking if I made a little function that sort of checked that each time, and that could grab word by word, yeah, it's possible. Okay, let me give you your coding assignment for this week, however. Okay, here's what I would like you to try to do. Now this is gonna lean a little bit on your knowledge of Spanish, so you may need to do a little bit of research if this is not your forte, or maybe if you're a 9th grader. But I'd like you to write a Spanish conjugation program, okay, like conjugating verbs. So I think we can do this. We are going to say you will conjugate only regular verbs, okay? Nothing fancy, nothing with the stem change, nothing with any kind of irregularities. But the user can input the verb and then have the, you guys only do 5 forms. There are actually 6 Spanish verb, what do you call them, like verb conjugations. You guys, we only do 5 in this part of the world. There are 6, we'll do 5. Have the 5 conjugations appear, but it has to do this. It has to, according to whether they are IR verbs, ER verbs or AR verbs. Okay. Now, if you don't know the conjugation of a regular IR, ER, or AR verb, then you will need to look that up, or ask Mrs. Bentley, or ask Miss Romero, ask someone else who knows, ask a native Spanish speaker, look it up online, do whatever you have to do. But I think this should work out well. So you're going to start off with a logic check. Like you can slice off the last couple of characters from your word. You can run it through some logic tests to see, is this IR, ER, AR? And then depending on what the answer is, you can then print out the conjugation of those. So you'll keep the stem of the verb, and then you'll add on the different endings. This will be challenging, okay? This will be challenging, but I know it absolutely can be done, because I've had students write these Spanish conjugation programs before, having done exactly the same sort of lessons as these. If you are getting stuck, you can ask me, and I'm happy to look at your code together with you and talk to each other. You can help each other, and that'll be just fine. That's very appropriate. Make sure that the program is interacting with the user. You can add any embellishments, any bells or whistles that you want. I also do recommend, if you want to look up help files on any of these functions that I've given to you, you can do that. Like, these help files are not hard to find. You just type in like Python slicing text, and you'll instantly get to like professional level help files that'll give cases and examples, things like that. It's all over the internet. So look it up. I know some of you have been doing that already. Okay, I leave it with you. Good luck. And you know where to find me. Okay, see you guys later.